We're on. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Florida Aerospace. I think I hear Lake Hout's in the background. If you hear anything going on in the background, it's Lake Hout. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts for the Florida Aviation Network. We're here at the 44th Annual Sun and Fun International Convention and Fly-In, and it's an opportunity for anyone that has any interest in aerospace and aviation to either be here or be on this live feed to learn as much as you can about what's going on in this industry. Speaking of what's going on in this industry, there's an outfit called JS Firm. And we have two of their representatives here. We got Lou.
Yep.
Short for Lewis.
Yes, sir. Hout.
Hout.
Yes, sir.
That's out with an H.
Yeah.
Hey, Lou.
Hey.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
And we got Jeff Richards.
Yes.
Jeff, what in the world did we do to miss out on Sam? Is Sam, what's he drinking? Coffee, eating donuts? I mean, what's going on?
As you know, JS Firm, we've been volunteering our time here for the past 5 years, I think. I forget. Time flies. But Sam's out on a mission somewhere, either helping Lights do something or Rob, or I'm not sure. We stay very busy the whole week we're here.
One thing I know about Sam, I can assure you, he's busy somewhere doing something.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There's not any grass growing under that man's feet.
Right.
But tell us a little bit about the industry. And first, thank you so much for what you guys do here to help sponsor and support both financially and with flesh labor to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
And I know you got folks all over the place. You got one of your staff back there taking pictures right there by Ginger.
Yeah.
And but this is a real opportunity for us to grow aviation. And what JS Firm, what the heck does JS Firm do? What do you grow? What do you make?
Well, we don't make any physical product, but we've been around. We're a website, jsfirm.com. We're a website, and we're old for a website. We've been around since 1999. And our mission is to connect hiring companies with job seekers. So we've been an aviation job website for going on 20 years now. Anything from a 3-person company up to Boeing advertises their jobs on our website. And then it's free for job seekers to come onto the website and apply to jobs.
And this goes back to I guess I can say this on air. We are streaming live. Okay. There are millions of people watching this, but Sam and I had a discussion at the bar one time about, what does JS Firm do? And that's the reason I asked the question, because I got to get on to Sam, because he didn't give you the memo.
Oh.
You guys make relationships.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You take the folks that are out there looking for work, and you know the folks that are looking for people to do the work, and there's
together.
The fit.
Right.
That's the glue.
Right.
So
we're the middleman.
And you guys, what is your particular role?
I am an account manager. So what I tend to do is I work with companies and just make sure I'm there for them to help them post their jobs or give them any advice. Since I've been in the industry for about 6 years now, so I just help them as much as I can with anything that they need. I need advice, but just moving forward.
Account manager, that's, how many accounts do you manage? I'm just curious.
Oh,
Not to put you on the spot.
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Literally.
Hundreds of companies.
Wow.
Yep.
And as far as JS Firm, Jeff, what is I just asked that, I haven't spoken to you before, but what is your role?
I'm the operations manager. So I manage the day-to-day operations of the company. So anything from ordering toilet paper to managing the sales team to overseeing marketing and helping out with any of the volunteerism that our company does.
So we call that the chief cook and bottle washer.
Yes.
And the potato peeler.
Yes.
You peel the potatoes. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I tell you, guys, this is a very dynamic period of time
Yes.
in aviation. And I've been around aviation for about 2 or 3 years. That's a joke. I was in aviation before I could shave. Actually, took my first ride when I was 6, and Dad, we had a J3 Cub, so I grew up in an aviation family. But there's been this talk about shortage, pilot shortage and mechanic shortage. And I've been concerned about this for the past literally 20 years. Because I knew a lot of the old timers, and there weren't that many young timers coming up under the old timers. And I said, well, this guy's, something's gonna happen here one of these days. It's here. I mean, we are here. What can you tell us about your companies, your clients, of how desperate they are looking for qualified? I'm a mechanic by trade, but how desperate they are to find qualified mechanics and pilots, stick wigglers, people to go up and do the controls.
So I know I could talk at length about this. That's something I'm very, very passionate about personally.
You could talk forever as long as it's another 15 to 20 minutes.
There you go. We are involved, obviously, with Sun and Fun, and we believe in what Sun and Fun does. And the earlier, the better you can get people interested, excited about aviation, the better. We work with AOPA, EAA, ATEC. I just came back from the ATEC annual conference. That's the conference for all of the certificate schools that are producing the AMPs. They're at 50% capacity. Okay. But you know the Boeing report, there's the Bureau of Labor and Statistics report, there's multiple reports out there that you can deny it all you want, but it's real, it's here. So the average age of an AMT, do you know what it is? An aircraft maintenance technician.
Tell me.
51. It's 51.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So 30% of all the AMTs right now, FAA, you know, the FAA certified, 30% are within range of retirement. And then the new breed coming in, 2%. 2% of the population makes up new people. I said the word kids, but people coming into.
Anybody under 45 is a kid.
I agree. Yes, I agree. Lou's a kid.
I'm a kid.
But there's a shortage. There's a shortage. We got to get. That's one of our new missions. I mean, JS Farm, we're trying to get the youth involved and excited about becoming a part of this industry.
Well, if we don't, we are going to dry up, and we're in the process of drying up now.
Yeah.
And speaking of AMPs, mechanics, and again, I'm passionate about that.
Yeah.
But okay, just somebody goes through a 147, a FAA Part 147 school accredited. That's probably the fastest way to get your certificate.
Yeah.
However, when they come out the other end, are they ready to go work for an airplane? On an airplane?
Yes.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, they're legally qualified, but are they technically mature enough to go out and actually produce to an employer? The answer is no. We need you. Sorry about that, but
you're right.
But we need you to get out and get experience. It takes anywhere from 3 to 5 years before you're really seasoned. And I'm looking for the term seasoning, and that's where you guys can hook them up and show them the path. But it's up to the individual to actually season themselves. And that's what I mean by seasoning. And that's not waiting to see when you get clock out and go home and you go and just play your video games and do whatever kids do. Anybody under 45 these days. But no, you punch out from your work job and then you go work on building your airplane, or you go on your moonlight job if you can do that by contract. And that's how you get seasoning. You get beside some guys like Jack Mendez or some old timer like Ben Coleman. And tell us a little bit about why do you safety wire that way? Because you see all these scars? That's the reason I do it this way, because I don't cut myself so much. Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Flying, pilots. Pilots are rated basically in their experience, and I'm talking an awful lot. I'm pulling this out of you because you're fixing to answer all this. Experience, flight hours. You can hook up the pilots to the needs of the industry, but how do you get your applicants to put them in the best position and posture to be hired to be able to produce to this employer?
Well,
I knew I was going to put you on the spot with this one. I got
a good question.
You
Yeah.
did. You did.
That's a good question.
Here's the thing, though. Our industry is changing, not decades at a time. It's changing 6 months at a time. I don't disagree with one word you said. However, that companies are changing now. We are doing the best job we can do to volunteer time to get people interested in aviation, and we blood, sweat, and tears to connect companies that are hiring to folks that are looking for a job or that are qualified. Mm-hmm. But it's the shortage is so real right now that companies now are changing their model. Companies are now are training more and taking pilots with less hours, plucking CFIs earlier than they did 6 months ago, certainly more than they did 5 years ago. Maintenance technicians too. Companies are investing more in training. And I think, honestly, we're going to have to go back to what it was prior. Like it used to be, you would, whether any trade, plumbing, aviation, electrical, you'd be an apprentice and work your way up through. I think there was a lot of years where aviation companies were very fortunate, 8 years ago, where they could pick and choose. Now companies, it's their fiduciary, it's their responsibility to train up the next generation, and they are doing it. They're doing it. So that's exciting. That's what is exciting about aviation.
And that's what I was trying to want exactly.
They're not getting the qualified. They have to train them.
They're pulling
right? Your customers tell you that all the time, right?
Yeah, they're pulling them at a young age now. Right out of school, they're just bringing them in, and they just put them in a training program for a few years or so, and then they're ready to go. And
I bring up another industry, the airline industry, and Lufthansa. Do you remember back in the days when Lufthansa would hire just people off the street that would have certain skill sets, and they would train them and teach them how to fly the Lufthansa way.
Yes.
And that way they were front loading their pilots.
Yeah.
But that's extremely expensive to do. And
no doubt.
And in our situation, we've been so fortunate in America, the United States, that we've always had plenty of pilots coming out of the military.
Yes.
But we're drying up. And so that's why it's pleasant to hear that your customers, your clients, if you will, both applicant and company organization, are actually doing that. What's it called? A paradigm shift. As far as we want to hire only people qualified to produce from day one. No, we're willing to take people that have shown that they've got their sheepskin, which is their certificate, and we're willing to train them.
Yeah.
And is that prolific? Is that growing, or?
I'm hearing more and more.
It's times are changing. Yeah. The regional airlines are definitely leading that right now. I think if you want to get a good indicator on the state of the industry, you can kind of keep an eye on what the regionals are doing. They've recently said some really good. It's even hard for me sometimes to keep up. They're evolving so quickly in order to fill their open positions.
We're I don't even know how to come up with this. The next question I have, again, is loaded. Is what is the answer? And I know you guys, and again, my talks with Sam. The answer is exactly what you're doing. You're putting these relationships together.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you plant a seed, you water it, and wait for it to grow.
Yeah.
So you're helping grow the industry by making these relationships, and it's a vital combination. And it's the more successful you are, the more successful the industry is.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
I sound like I'm a commercial for you now. What is this? I'm the host. You're supposed to be telling me this stuff. Where all do you go, JS Firm? I know you're here, strong, staunch supporter of Sun and Fun. What other activities are you guys involved with? Being the operations manager, you know pretty much, you got your finger on the pulse of where you guys are going next after Sun and Fun.
Yeah. Well, we work with AOPA. We do EAA, Oshkosh, of course. I have some events coming up with Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. We do try to partner with schools. There's only so many hours, and we do try to get out there and volunteer as much as we can. But of course, the primary objective of JS Firm is to help companies with their hiring. We to run job advertisements, and but we're trying so hard to sustain the industry, and we've been doing more with scholarships. We just did. Were you at the exhibitor breakfast? I think you might have missed it. We just
I missed it.
Handed out 2 scholarships this morning at the exhibitor breakfast.
And what do these scholarships entail? Tell me. I don't know.
I think it's.
Abby knows more than I do.
I think it's.
With
so
2
many
scholarships.
hours.
One was for an AMT. One was for an engineer.
Yep.
But they had to go through a phone interview with one of the JS Firm owners. They'd have a minimum of 50 or 100 volunteer hours and a minimum GPA at the high school, at the school here.
Yep.
Okay.
So.
So 2.75 GPA.
Yeah, I think, yeah. But these kids need to know there's scholarships available. And so that's how we're trying to help grow the industry is keep these kids on the path of aviation.
You know, we have Mackenzie Barber on earlier, and she, I think Tuesday, she got her scholarship for a private pilot certificate.
Okay.
Great.
And she said she made the Freudian slip of it was given to me.
She earned it.
I got onto her, exactly.
Yeah.
Mackenzie, you earned that. What things are, I just love it when people say, oh, it's free. I got my flight training free.
Yeah.
No, it's
she
not
earned it.
free. You earn it. And there's nothing as far as I'm concerned, is free.
Yeah. Yeah, Lewis and I, we were at another trade show in Orlando this week. We got up early to fly this morning. We were so excited to meet the 2 recipients. They are stand-up kids. They are,
Yes,
it
sir,
was
yes,
such a pleasure
ma'am.
to
It was
shake their
great.
hand and meet these 2
Good kids.
These 2 recipients, and they're going to do well. They're going to have good futures.
And guys, we do have a few extra minutes. I'm going to develop this with you.
Okay.
I just had this concept about last week because I knew we were going to be doing a lot of talking about this subject, this topic. But us old timers, sorry,
I think I'm an old timer now.
you just passed,
I did,
flipped over the edge there. Okay. It's really, you can take, and I use a term, and our folks here are going to get tired of hearing this, but you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Yep.
Kids, you can stick a kid in a cockpit, but you can't, and you can show them all the neat whistles and bells and the dials and everything, but if they're not into it, forget it. They're not going to be interested in it.
Right.
So it's our role to create an environment in which the young folks want to come to, rather than we try to either drag them or push them into it. So we get an opportunity to have a lot more fun. We get to fly a lot more. We get to go a lot more places. We need to talk about our vocation a lot more, and hopefully get that tinge of get the young ones out there, the youngsters. Again, anybody under 45, to say, I want to learn more about that.
Right.
And now we got them. We got them. We set the hook. So, and I know that JS Firm, I know that you guys are involved with setting the hook, if you will.
Yes.
And I know you mentioned EAA. There are other alphabet groups. I know that you NBAA.
Yes.
You guys are pretty. You're all over the place. At NBAA.
Yeah, all the alphabets: HAI, NBAA, PAMA,
WAI.
Yeah, WAI. Yeah.
So when do you have time to do your work?
That's a
all
good
you
question.
do is go
Yeah.
trade show to trade show.
Don't give Sam any ideas.
This
We're
is-
already over.
this
Yeah.
is my
We've already
fifth-
talked about that.
Yeah, this is my 5th show in like 2 months.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
we're just trying to change lives, just make it better for everybody. And
When you're passionate about what you do, it's easy to get up every morning and go to
right.
work, right? You know.
Work. What is that? I've been in aviation for 45 years. I haven't worked a day in my life.
Yeah.
Now, I've had some long hours, and I've sweat.
Sure.
And, I've wondered what in the world I'm doing here, but it's a passion, like you say, and it's a hobby. And what better career field that you can choose to where you always feel like you're just going to have fun and happen to get paid for it.
What we do on a daily, we change people's lives every day. And when you get that feedback, it's so motivating. Because of jsfirm.com, I found my dream job on your website. And I applied, and they called me, and I got it. And my wife and I, we moved where we want to live, and they talk about the school district, and they talk about, all the church and everything else they found because of us. And it's amazing. It really is. It's
rewarding.
fulfilling. Yeah.
It is rewarding. What, speaking of which, we talk about you guys putting these relationships together, but what opportunities are there with JS Firm? Because as you get busier and busier and your plate drapeth over, you have to hire people.
Yes.
Where do you get your people from?
Usually a lot of local people that we bring in and train up that don't have, there's not too many people that have direct experience working for an aviation job website. So
Right, yeah.
we train them up.
I didn't.
And yeah, Lewis.
I found them in an article in the local newspaper, and I walked to work for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, just worked out, and they trained me up. I didn't know anything about aviation until I started working there. I'm still learning every day, but
Well, but do you fly?
I do not.
We have an opportunity here. All you need is more hours in the day,
Yeah.
and to work into flight training.
That's right.
You fly.
No, I don't. I don't.
Oh
I don't.
man, we gotta get you. We have been missing the boat here.
Yeah.
Sam, you and me we can have a talk, buddy. Because I know Sam. I saw him down at Sebring,
Yes.
and literally there was drool coming out of the corner of his mouth on a carbon cub. I don't know. Did he wind up buying one?
No, he was in one last night though.
Okay, I know it's going to happen
Yeah.
because he was. I had to take a rag and clean up the airplane because he was just all over, slobber all over the place. But
That's what the kids need to see.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and that's what Sam needs to promote with his people
Yeah.
to get into these airplanes and pulling wrenches. Who's your strongest AMT or mechanical or technician account manager? Do you have one that's dedicated for that specific
No, we don't.
job field?
We don't. It's these guys are so skilled. They talk to these companies and they listen to them and they learn what they need. And then Lewis creates a plan of action for how they're going to accomplish their hiring through our job ads, through searching our resume database, through running banner advertisements, or we have banner ads on the website and email campaigns. And Lou's very skilled at building these campaigns for these companies and solving their needs, their hiring needs.
Jeff,
Yeah.
Lou, let me plant a seed here.
Good.
There's an outfit called the Florida Aviation Network. You ever heard of those guys?
I think I've heard of it.
Something about a meatball. And what used to be the meatball, the FAA meatball, is now the orange ball.
Yeah.
But there's a concept called plane time. You ever heard of that?
Actually, no.
Plane time is a show that Florida Aviation Network has developed, and it's dedicated to aircraft maintenance technology.
Oh.
And we do similar forums like this. Excuse me. I'm gonna have to excuse myself one more time.
Sure.
Did you get that, John, in the truck? Got it. It just blows their ear sets off when they cough in the mic. Oh, what's he doing? But plane time is an opportunity for us to get with the mechanical organizations that do the maintenance on the aircraft.
Okay.
And how to develop different topics, magnetos. There are folks that are just absolute, they're experts on magnetos. Joe Lochi with Champion.
Yeah.
You know Joe?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, little bitty fella.
Yeah, I think we,
Just dynamic
Preston,
as heck, and I say that affectionately, Joe. But he knows magnetos inside and out, and it's refreshing to get that type of. Again, we're trying to get this environment to pull the youth in and say, "Wow, that's interesting. That guy knows his stuff," or "That lady really knows what she's talking about," and that drives them to them, and that's why it opens up an opportunity for you to have another customer and a client.
Yeah.
How do you rank your you're an account manager.
Yes, sir.
Do you call what do you call your customers, because you have both applicants and you have organizations that are looking for applicants, but do you call them their accounts? I guess is that
Right. I mean, the term that we use, behind the scenes in the office is their accounts, but essentially they're just a customer. They're customers.
Okay.
I mean, applicants and customers, pretty much what you said.
okay? So they're folks with a need.
Yep.
And you guys plug in and the fit, the fill, and I'm just curious. How do you do you have a panel, or is it all on one person, or you sit around and look at I got one. This one has X amount of years of this, and they want to work around the water. Oh, send that one down to me, because I've got one here that they're looking for somebody that likes to work around water. That's not afraid of water or heights. And oh, I got one here. I've got a tower operator that we need somebody that can climb towers. It's not afraid of falling. Do you do it that way? And Sam is never. This is the secret sauce. Sam just does not share the secret sauce with me. But how do you do it? It's algorithms. I mean, do you plug it into computer?
Yeah, there's no. It's a database. It's through technology on the website. Yeah. So yeah, we aren't like mailing a resume to a company. No, it's through the process of how our website works, and they log in and run the search. And,
You're a dating site.
yeah, kind of.
I'm sorry.
Kind of, yeah.
I accused Sam of that
Could look
one
at it that
time,
way.
and he got a little offended. But no, and actually you form relationships, and you help grow the relationships. And where are you going after Sun and Fun, as far as your group, your core group?
Well, I think we have a whole 2 weeks off. Or no, wait. Yeah, no, we have it's a whole 2 weeks off, and then we're going to be at the Army Aviation Show
In Nashville.
in Nashville, and then I have a speaking engagement with Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. I think that's the next one.
That's the next
I think
one.
that's it.
And
Yeah.
Then, and then in July is Oshkosh.
Yeah, Oshkosh.
2 weeks off. I'm gonna have to talk to Sam about that. That's a little much, I think.
Well, I'll be in
Take
the
a
office
couple
if you need
days.
me. Yeah.
Okay, take you a couple days. But, working on the road. Where's home for you guys?
We have two offices. Roanoke, Texas is the headquarters of JSFirm.com. Lois and I work in the Pennsylvania office just outside of Pittsburgh. It's a beautiful town called Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania.
Love Pennsylvania. Spent a lot of time in Lock Haven.
Yeah.
Up in
The other end of the state, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the valley. Well, I'll be up there for Sentimental Journey. And you know, that's some of these things come to mind. I don't think it would be fruitful for you as a company to come to Sentimental Journey, but it would be very fruitful to you to come and support. I mean, it would be a heck of an opportunity for the employees, Sam, to get them to go to Sentimental Journey. It's a grassroots. You know what Sentimental Journey is?
No, that's not the Piper show, is it?
It's the Piper Cub flying home to where they were born. The birthplace.
Yes.
of the
Okay,
Cub.
I do know.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But Mark Baker, he typically shows up.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We have a good time up there.
Okay.
It's a full week of, they call it bomb, but it's a grapefruit drop or a flour sack, trying to hit a target.
Fun.
And it's
Okay.
fun
Yeah.
watching folks, spot landing contests and maintenance. A lot of maintenance going on up there. Folks working on the airplanes. And guys, I can't thank you enough for coming and sharing your
Thanks for having
vocation
us.
with us.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
hopefully there's something, even just a little snippet out of this interview that you could use to your advantage.
Okay. Yeah.
If it's to your advantage, it's to all of our advantage.
Yes. That's right.
So
Exactly.
we're all in this thing together. So
Yeah.
Jeff,
Thank you. Thank you
thank
so
you,
much.
sir. And
Thank you.
Luke.
Lewis,
Appreciate it.
you take it easy. That's Hout.
You got it.
Hout.
You got it.
Yep.
And we're going to close out this interview, and thank you so much for attending. And this is a beehive activity. Hi, kids. We'll talk to you next interview.